Okay, guys and gals, whoever it might be. Um, Trying this as a first attempt, one at a YouTube video, but two, just trying to document things that I do and that I find of interest. And I'm just gonna have a whole bunch of stuff going on. But today we are going to do a clutch fluid change on the C7 Grand Sport. It's the LT1 with a dry sump engine and obviously a manual transmission. That's the clutch. So this was something in the Camaro I didn't know about because the Camaro here has a shared reservoir with the brakes. So there's no need to change the clutch fluid individually. I just change the brake fluid regularly and it takes care of the clutch. However, in the Corvette, I was not aware that the clutch has its own reservoir here. So there is probably a more, I don't know, necessarily proper way to do it, but maybe a more, I wouldn't even say effective. It's just a different way. And I can't remember what this method was called. A Ranger method, I believe is what it was called. But what we're going to do is we're just going to swap out the fluid using the reservoir up top here. And basically what we're going to do is you come in here and you take off the cap. And you don't need a ton of tools, actually, which is nice with this. Because the other way, where if you were to drain it from the bottom to the valve, you'd have to get the car up in the air. And you would drain it from below, and that's not always the easiest thing to do, especially when it's in your own garage. So it's just this little reservoir here. And for tools, what you're gonna need is you're gonna need some .4 brake fluid, which I happen to have some from the Camaro's last change here. Any .4 fluid should do. And you're also gonna need some type of a syringe or something here to suck the fluid out of the reservoir, and then a container to put that fluid in. So pretty much the basic method, and I don't know if I'm gonna be able to capture this very well, but what we're gonna do is we're gonna take and we're gonna remove this fluid, and it's kind of hard to tell right now, but the brake fluid, when it's clean, is kind of an amber color that you can see through. Right now in the Corvette, it basically looks like Pepsi. So not great. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna suck that out and put it into some type of separate container, and then I'll show you what the next step is here in 1 second. Okay, so at this point we're gonna suck out the fluid. I've got an old oil bottle here I'm gonna use to put it in. Now remember, brake fluid is nasty stuff, so you do not want to get it on your paint, so make sure you have some paper towels handy and try to make sure you catch any drips. We're going to suck it out here. Try to catch the drips, but as you guys can see, it's not super clean right now. So we're going to do this for a couple cycles. See how it comes out. So this is going to be a process that's probably going to have to be done several times, but I'll step through this for a little bit here, and then we'll come back and I'll show you the next step, and then we're just going to iterate through that. Okay, so I've got all the fluid that I can out of here right now, and I don't know how well we're going to be able to see, but right now we're pretty empty down here, pretty much down to the bottom. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a paper towel and I'm just gonna go ahead and see if I can kind of, dab up the rest. Now, I've got just a white kind of house paper towel, so I'm not gonna get in there and really scrub around because these things typically tend to leave a lot of lint and things like that. Probably one of those blue shop towels would probably be better to get in there and clean it all out. So I'm just gonna kind of put it in there and let it absorb it for a second. And we'll take that out and throw it away. And then another thing you want to do also between each one of these is you've got this kind of diaphragm inside the lid. And you want to clean that out too. And it just pops out like this. And you probably just want to give that a wipe down as well. Just because, especially, I don't know if this vehicle's ever had this done. to it, and it's got about 20,000 miles on it. So again, just a good thing to get all the grime out, and this thing actually pops out just to give it a good wipe down. Get the stuff off of it. And then can put it back to what it was. Again, not much to it. Okay, and then what we're gonna do after that is drained and dried up as best you can get it. Get any drips here, turn it over, use the clean side, get any drips. So we're gonna toss that in the trash. And then we're gonna grab our brake fluid. And I fill the reservoir about halfway up. Okay, and at this point we're going to put this back on. Like that. And then the next step is we are going to get in the car, and I'll see if I can film this okay. We're going to push the clutch pedal in about 30 times. Okay. What that's going to do is it's going to cycle the clutch fluid through. So, about 30. All right, there's our 30. And I'll probably try to speed that up in the editing process so it's not as offensive. And we'll come back over here and we'll take a look at what we've got. So with each iteration, it should be getting progressively clearer, but I'm expecting this one to be pretty dark still. So let's take a look real quick here and see what we got. And this is my first time doing it. And so again, partly I'm just documenting this for myself to take care of this car, but sure, if it's helpful to anybody out there, because I didn't know it, it would be good if it helps somebody else. Let's take a look. Oh, this is looking much better. Okay, and this is, for the record, this is my second pass on this. So you can see here, much closer to that gold color that we want instead of that black Pepsi looking color. So at this point, I'll go ahead and step through this process, but basically you just iterate through this process until the fluid after that 30 pump cycle comes out looking pretty clear. And to do that, what I'll do is I'll probably get a light and I'll get the camera, and then when you can go through the 30 pumps and open this reservoir up here and look down and see through the fluid to the bottom to see a little intake port at the bottom, then you're at a good point. And this process should be done, you know, if you track your car, probably after every track session. But ideally, if you can, probably every 1,500 miles to 2,000 miles on the car is what I've been told, and I think keeping up on the fluids is probably just a good idea. So I will be back as soon as this process is done with a shot of the fluid, and then I'll wrap it up. Okay, well, this is probably, I don't know, the fourth iteration. Let's pop this thing off and see what we see here. And again, if it comes out looking like Pepsi, we'll keep going, and if it's starting to get clear. Okay, well, I'm starting to be able to see the bottom, so let's go one more cycle here, and on the next cycle I'll get the camera over, we'll take a look at it, and hopefully you can see through the fluid, but at least now I can kind of see the valve down at the bottom. So I'll probably do one more cycle on this one, and then call it good. Okay, so thinking we're probably going to be hoping it'll be good here. We'll keep it going if we're not. Pop this guy off. And then take a look. Not looking too bad. Let's see if I can get you guys a good shot here. I don't know if the light here is gonna work, if you guys can see that. You should be able to, kind of see through it. It should be, golden color, and you should be able to see that little opening at the bottom. And that's looking a heck of a lot better than it did. So I think we'll call it good for the day. But yeah, at this point, we'll cap it up. The little reservoir should be about, I think, half full to give room for the diaphragm here. When I opened it up originally, it was actually, it was nearly dry at the bottom there. So I think we're in a better state than we were. And probably do this every couple thousand miles for the car to keep it going, because it gets dirty pretty quick. And hopefully this is helpful. I sure as heck didn't know it getting this car. Like I said, my Camaro had a shared reservoir, so I didn't know this needed to be done. Learned it, walked through it. It's really easy, something you can do in your garage. Just need, again, the .4 fluid. All right, so anyway, that's pretty much the process. I've got the lid back on. Just make sure you wipe down and look for any spills. Make sure, because you don't want to leave brake fluid sitting on anything. But again, hopefully this was helpful. And I'm going to keep making videos like this of stuff I learn, and just holding this on a tripod, sorry. Stuff I learn, and hopefully it's useful to folks. And if anything, it'll be a repository for me to come back and not have to look this stuff back up on the internet. Take care.